welcome to the 5th episode of Wall Watch. Now keep in mind, when we're looking at women who are at the wall, we're watching to see how they respond to hitting the wall, right? This is not about, oh, she's too old or any of that. This is simply, how does she respond to hitting the wall? Now, let me introduce myself. My name is Bertrand. I am the coolest dude on the planet, and I'm your friend. Confidence and clarity is the goal for my channel, especially when you get out of a relationship, because you're going to be trying to figure out what the just happened and why is dating so weird. Now, today I'm going to use this clip to kind of show or to make a point. Now, we have a woman here who's basically saying, is 35 too much for you? Now, before we get into this clip, gotta ask you guys a few questions. Let's start with that one. Is 35 too much for you to handle? Next, business or romance? After that, because we're listening to a woman speak, is this a wife, companion, a fun girl, or a gold digger? All right, let's check her out. Let me go ahead and pull her up for you.
So women 35 and over are too much. Too much for you, huh? Is it that by 35 I learned my worth? Is it that by 35 I didn't need an insecure man to validate my beauty anymore? Is it that by 35 I achieved the kind of self-sufficiency and independence that an undeserving man would only take away from? Is it that by 35 I learned what the markers of lying, cheating, manipulation, and narcissism looked like? Is it that by 35 I got an incurable STI from a man that didn't respect me enough to be honest with me? Is it that by 35 I had already endured a miscarriage, divorce, and learned what processing pain?
Listen, let me start off by saying,
too much for you, huh?
way too much, way too much. Listen, no man can handle this. She gave you guys at least 7 reasons as to why her being 35 is too much. Number 1, her tone was right, like it was dry, it was lifeless. Okay, so let's get right into this. All right, so is she looking to do business or is she actually looking for romance? The reason I ask you guys that is because men, we're looking for romance, because we know that we have to romance that woman. We have to be somewhat nice to that woman to actually get her to drop them draws so we can beat the brakes off her, right? We know this, but what we're starting to realize is women are doing business. So now it's literally a matter of what type of business do you need to do in order to be able to beat the brakes off her? Because this woman here, she is ruined. She is damaged. In fact, I would tell you guys to run. Get the fuck away from this woman right here, because she has experienced the most traumatic damage, right? And a lot of women, even if they go to therapy, they don't seem to really recover from some of these things. So let me go ahead and go through at least the 7 things that I came up with. All right, she says she knows her worth. Well, what is it? What is it? Because I don't believe she knows what her worth is. With her being 35, are you going to choose, would a man choose a 35-year-old or a 25-year-old? Let me just say this in case anyone out there wants to be over the top nice. The 25-year-old generally will look better than the 35-year-old. That's just what that is, okay? The 10-year age gap will definitely show itself in her appearance, because you're talking about a woman with gray hair versus the woman who doesn't have gray hair. Next thing, independence. This is something that will work against you no matter what you do. This woman is always going to feel like she can do better, or she don't need no man, right? That's what independence is. Remember, a relationship is 2 people getting together and working together, right? You bring things you bring things and she bring things. The goal is to win life. It's survival of the fittest. The next thing is miscarriage. Now, this one is like, it's sad, right? Because some women try to ignore it and some women count that as a child, right? I met a woman, or let me say, I've met women. I've dated women who would be like, well, I have 3 kids, but one of them, is a spirit child. And the first time I heard that, I was like, What? A spirit child? What does that mean? Well, that wait. Before we continue with this video, I need you to do me a huge favor. Like this video, then subscribe to the channel. After you do that, hit that notification bell for more videos like this. All right, let's get back to the video. After they explained it, I was like, okay, got it. Now, a divorce means one of two things. One, she cannot be satisfied.
To love me, done begging him to spend time with me.
Or she can't keep a man, all resulting in business. So this woman here is going to be doing business, but the type of business she's going to be doing is she's going to make you pay for all the mistakes that was made in her past.
Too much for you, huh?
Now, she talked about cheating, right? So I have to tie in the STI and the validation together, because if you think that these women are newly single, fresh out of a divorce or fresh out of a relationship, and they're not responding to the guys in their DMs, you are crazy.
Too much for you, huh?
In fact, if that's what you think, I need to pour some baby powder on my hand, rub my hands together, and make sure this is your face right here. And then we got to make sure we come right back. Backhand your ass, because listen, women love the validation. This is why they post so many pictures. Think about this, right? Because I have a business, and on my business, I want the likes, I want the comments, I want the follows, I want people on that page because I'm looking to make money, right? So when I'm looking for those likes, yes, I'm looking for the validation. Now, this woman, why is she posting pictures?
Too much for you, huh?
She's looking for validation on what she looks like, which means she's insecure, which takes us to the next thing, her being insecure. If you think that this woman is not insecure based on everything she just told you, once again, you are insane. Now, this woman was put in the wifey position. She clearly failed at it, right? Now, again, if she is newly single, I'm telling you, I mean, listen, you ain't even got to listen to me. There's plenty of guys, plenty of women on here that'll tell you that the majority of the women now, today, are more promiscuous than ever, which means they are fun girls. Okay. So trying to argue that is, is whatever. You know what I mean? I'm just saying this woman is presenting herself now as a fun girl who is tarnished, damaged, ruined, right? With this type of woman speaking like this, you should run from her, because if you don't, you will end up like Jonathan Majors, right? Jonathan Majors was going to be paid so much money because of all of the movies that he was going to do, that his grandchildren, maybe even his great-great-grandchildren, wouldn't have to work based on that. But he allowed a woman to ruin all of that for him. All of it. It's all ruined. Right? He now is probably going to have to use whatever money he has to just pay the judge and attorneys, and maybe even possibly her, opposed to that money going to his future generations. Just something to think about, fellas. Now, this is one of the reasons why I tell you to focus on a better mind, a better body, and better finances. Not so you can mess it all up on one particular woman, but so that you can have a better lifestyle. Hopefully one that you enjoy. Me personally, I love sporting events, being on jet skis, traveling, doing new things, going new places, right? Seeing the 7 wonders of the world. That's what I'm gonna have to start adding to my bucket list, right? So I usually like to choose a new place that I'm gonna travel to, a place that I haven't been before. Why? Because now it's a thought of mine. But with me saying this, I want you guys to adapt to dating, because if you complain about dating, it's going to do one of two things. It's going to give you a reason to go back, or it's going to give you a reason to stay. Now, if you got a hell of a woman and she got your back and you got her back and y'all just going through a little something right now, that's different. Listen, when you get into a relationship, if you think you're not going to have issues, you think you're not going to get tired of that person, you are insane. Men, we're logical. So please understand, when you get into a relationship, when you get into a marriage, this is going to be the hardest thing you can possibly do in your life, because you may be looked at as a source of entertainment or a source of support. Or a source of whatever, right? Because you are that. People passing away will affect you, and it will affect your partner. That person losing a parent is going to affect them in a way that is going to change them, a change you're not ready for. When you have children, that's another change. Now, with me saying all of this, right, this woman definitely is low in energy, which shows you friends with benefits, situationships, flings, right? Maybe even somebody's vacay base. So with these things being said, we're living in the best time to be alive. Why? Because of technology. The things that we're able to create with our hands, the things that we're able to create with our minds, right? So this is why I'm encouraging you to do better, to continuously invent, right? Your purpose breaks down into one of two things. You're a helper or you're a creator. Now, the helper is just as important as the creator, because the helper is the one that magnifies whatever invention just got invented. For instance, the person who created this computer screen, this camera, this light, this microphone, that's not the same person that's actually scaling it and making sure it's available for everyone who can come up with money or resources. Now, I have a question for you guys. What do you think? Is 35 too much? Did I leave something out? Comment under this video. Remember, when you're watching these videos, you are becoming a better version of yourself. That means you 2.0. Other than that, I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.